everybody, Rose here. So today we are going to be doing this. It is a Christmas coaster. I'm calling it the Criss Cross Coaster, and I have a couple different choices for you. I started out with these, and then just some plain colored ones I thought looked really good. I thought they turned out really well. That pattern, I really love that. And at the end, I'll show you how to do this version. It's a little bit more advanced with that trim right there. So just in case you want this option, I'm going to throw it in at the end. But for the most part, they're just going to be like this. And the only difference between these two, other than the colors are flip-flopped, is that I did one extra row of single crochet around the edge. So you have two options here. Let's see what they measure. So our regular one is going to be about 4 inches. And with that extra trim, it moves it to about 4 1/4. So not that much bigger. And let's see, how does it fare out with my giant jug? Okay. Do one more row and it'll fit one of these 1/2 gallons. Alrighty. So what we're going to need is, got our scissors in tapestry. We are going to do the H hook, 5.0 millimeter. And for today's yarn, this is that, I think it's called Lily's Sugar and Cream. I just had the ticket like 30 seconds ago and then poof, I have no idea where it went. But it's that sugar and cream cone in red. And I think I'm going to try this. I love this cotton. And this is in forest. Okay. So go get your supplies and I will meet you right back here. Okay. I really like this red in the middle with the green on the outside. So I think I'm going to stick with that. All right. So with your first color, we're going to do the magic circle. And I just cross it over, fold it down like the pretzel, and then I pull up that loop like I'm going to do a slip knot, and get my hand organized, and then I chain 1, and then I turn it to make sure my tail is going in the direction I'm going to be crocheting. I know there's an easier way, but I just haven't taken the time to work on that. So how we're going to start this is we're going to chain up 1 more. This isn't going to count. We're just getting some height. And in this first round, we're going to put 8 half double crochets in our ring. So we're going to yarn over, go in there, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through all 3. There's our first one. You're welcome to put a stitch marker there if you need to. Let's do 7 more. There's 2. There's 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to slip stitch and join to that first half double crochet, pull my tail, and then we're going to chain 2. There's round 1. So we're chaining 2, and we're going to put another half double crochet right where we joined. Go right in there and pull up a loop. Half double crochet. So that's technically 2. Let's just leave it like that for now. And we're going to put 2 half double crochets in each of these 8 half double crochets from the first row. And we should have 16 at the end of this round. So the next one, next stitch, 2 half double crochets. That's technically, that's 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Let's count up to 16. Next one, 5 and 6. Next one, 7 and 8. And then we're going to continue this until we get to 16. 15 and 16. So this is what it looks like. There's that chain 2 right there. That's the chain 2. And then here's our first half double crochet for this round. So this is that slip stitch. We slip stitch and then we chain 2. Now we have 16 half double crochets. We're going to do our little cheat, and that is going to put another half double crochet in here. And that's going to mean we're going to actually have 17 half double crochets. And then we're going to skip that chain 2, and then we're going to slip stitch into the first real half double crochet. So we can still have 16 stitches in this round. And that is round 2. Now to make it easier, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to fasten off. Boom. So now we're going to go grab our next color. And for me, it's that forest green. And the way I do it is I get it set up in my hand like I'm crocheting. And we're going to come back, and right where we joined, you can just pull that apart. You can see it's right in this bit right here. So I'm going to stick my hook right where I joined, and then I'm going to lay this to the back so I have something to hold on to. And I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to pull it up. And I'm going to chain 1. Now we're secured on. And now we're going to go ahead and do another 2 stitches. So we technically have like a chain 3. Now for the fun part. So we did our chain 3. See that last stitch right there? We're going to yarn over, and we're going to cross back to that stitch. Okay, let's do that again. We did our chain 3. We're going to take a look at our work. Just, you can tilt it up to you a little bit and it'll reveal itself. That's where we're going into. We're doing a double crochet, so we're going to yarn over. We're going to slip in there. I'm going to grab my yarn. I'm going to pull it up toward me and up. And then I'm going to finish a double crochet. We've got 3 hoops. Go through 2. Go through 2. And that's our first crisscross. Now you chain 1. We're going to chain 1 in between every one of these crisscrosses. Now for this pattern, see that next stitch right there? I'm going to take my red with me. Actually, I'm going to take the red and the green with me. We're going to yarn over, we're going to go into that very next stitch right here. Go in there. I'm going to pull up a loop, yarn over 2, yarn over 2. We just did a double crochet. Now that stitch right next to us, let me pour this out so you can see what I'm doing here. So you can have an idea of what's going on here. So we're setting up for a double crochet. I mean, we just did a double crochet. And now what we're going to do is we're crossing back to the previous stitch. So when we do, to finish this cross, we're going to go back into here. And I'm only clarifying because normally in this crisscross, you would like skip stitches, but we're not doing that. We're using every one of these stitches all the way around. Okay. And once you get that first one done, then the rest of this like kind of flies open. Now we're going to yarn over. We're going to go in that previous stitch there, and we're going to do a double crochet. Pull it up. 1, 2, 1, 2, and chain 1. Now we're going to go into the very next stitch, do a double crochet. Go in there. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then we're going to go back to here. We're going to yarn over, go in there, pull up a loop, and finish our double crochet with a chain 1. And that's our crisscross. Next one, double crochet, go back 1, keep your hand relaxed, double crochet, chain 1. So let's just continue this all the way around, and I'll meet you when we get to the very end to show you how we're going to finish this row off. Okay, so here I am, that last stitch, do my double crochet, and I'm going to cross back, chain 1. Now normally you would go ahead and join, but what we're going to do to keep this a solid piece is we're going to go into that first one. So we're going to yarn over, go into that first one, do a double crochet, and then we're going to go back to that last stitch and finish it out. Double crochet with a chain 1, and now pull these up, maybe pull these apart. You can see that this is the top of that cross stitch, and we are going to join to that top of that, slip stitch, chain 1, and you can fasten off, and I'm just doing my traditional finger length. Okay, and that's what we have. Wow, I'm fumbly fingers today. Yeah, I really like that dark green. I like it a lot more than this. Okay, now for our next row, we're going to go back to our red, or color 1, and in between those first 2 double crochets, we're not going up in these top stitches, we're actually going in between. Okay. We're actually going to go in between there. Get my yarn. And I think I'm going to tie this one on. Okay, let's get these guys together. Okay, now I'm going to go right back in there where I joined on. Do a chain 1. And then we're going to go back. Nah, I'm going to count that as a single crochet. Now for the easy part. This is that chain 1 in between our cross stitches. We're going to go right in there and do a single crochet. The next, we're going to go in between those 2 double crochets and do a single crochet. There's our chain 1 space in between those cross stitches, a single crochet. And that's what you're going to do all the way around. In between the 2, put 1 in that chain 1 space. In between those 2 double crochets, put a single crochet, and you're just going to do that all the way around. And I will meet you there. This is the easiest part. When I was first doing it, I was trying to do it in the stitches, and nobody's got time for that. Especially if you want to make a bunch of these coasters. Like today is actually Thanksgiving Day. And I was like, holy smokes, I've got to get this out, or nobody's going to have time to be making any of this stuff. But we're not doing our dinner for another couple hours, so I thought spend a few minutes with you guys, get this going. Here's that last one. Here's that chain 1 space. And now I'm just going to go, since I didn't actually do a single crochet when I joined, guess what I'm going to do? I'm just going to pick up those 2. And I'm going to join to that. Now this is your option if you want to do another row. You can do in those top loops all the way around and get your 4 1/4 if you want that. But I am going to go ahead and fasten off. And after the video, I'll tie all those ends in. And there we go. Here's our crisscross coaster. Kind of looks like an ornament too. Could probably make that into an ornament. This was one of my favorites too. I used that variegated for the crisscrosses. Really like that, but I didn't have any more of that. So there's that. Now, let me show you real quick on how to do this trim. Okay, so I just whipped this up real quick so we can do this other variation, that trim. And I think it is, it is feasible, but I think because of the way we have to do it, it's probably going to be best to go ahead and do a row of single crochet. But if you don't want to do that, then let's go ahead and try it. So I just slip stitched over and I did a chain 1. I'm going to pull this apart a little bit, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in this space, and I'm basically doing kind of like the cross stitch. I'm going to go in there, I'm going to pull up a loop, and I'm going to do a single crochet. Now I'm going to try to go into this top stitch, which is right at the top of those 2. Pull up a loop. You're basically going the opposite direction. So for you righties, you're going to be going to the right. I'm a lefty, I'm going to the left. So that's in between there. And now I'm going to go back in this space here. I'm going to go in that hole, and I'm going to pull up a loop, and I'm going to do a single crochet. I'm going to pull these 2 apart. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to do a single crochet. Go into that space again, going down, push to the back, grab that, pull it up, and it basically makes this like rope look, which I really like. In between those 2, I'm not even going to mess with trying to go in the stitches. I'm just going to go in between, go in that space, go going to push it down to the back, pull it up. And this is the crab stitch. Just kind of creeping along. Going to the in between those two double crochets, do a single crochet. And for me, it's just easier if I'm just basically like an airplane. I'm just going, pushing down to the back and pulling it up. But I remember as a beginner, I was like, I don't know where, you know, I couldn't get my hand to work, but it just goes down like this. That's how I found it works, is if I just immediately go down and then I can pull it up. Down, pull it up. And then that's the crab stitch. You can just do that all the way around. And I will meet you there and I'll show you how you can like finish this version up. Okay, that was that last space, and now I'm started to go this way, so I still have this double crochet. So I'm going to go ahead and go in that last double crochet. And then the way I'm going to do it is in these first two ropes here. Look like it's going at a diagonal. You can go from the back to the front. Pull that tight. Okay, so you finish your last stitch. Just go from the back to the front and just pick up a loop. And then you can slip stitch. That's probably easier. Chain one. Fasten off. That's the rough version of how to do that. But it's really cool. That edge looks really nice. Probably do more of mine like that, but I still think it might be easier to do a single crochet so you can just get these stitches. It probably goes a little bit faster. So, which version do you like? I mean, the colors are just endless, aren't they? But I think I'm going to be doing more of these solid colored ones. Either that or I'll go back to Hobby Lobby and get some more of this variegated. This one's my favorite. But I tried to do one that the variegated where all the red is, and it didn't turn out, which is why it's not on here. So anyway, guys, I hope you have a great Thanksgiving, and I will just catch you in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.